Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and happy new year 2022. We are here, and of course I'm bringing you sunny good vibes all the way from the motherland, Ghana to be exact. So if you're new to my channel, Aquaba, which means welcome, and if you're a regular subscriber, what's going on guys? Also Aquaba, welcome back to my channel. So yeah, like I cannot believe my time in Ghana has already reached 2 months. Like, where has time gone? Like, I cannot believe it. And it was so amazing to spend my first Christmas and New Year's in Ghana in dirty December. I must say, I did go out a little bit, probably not as much parties as others, because, you know, living here and coming here for a holiday is 2 different things. But what I have experienced so far, it has been so amazing. Also, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that has been sending me well wishes, welcoming me to the motherland. It's just been so amazing, all the love from across the globe. Like, it's so amazing to see so many different people from different parts of the world showing love, saying where they're from, where they've been watching from. So don't forget, drop your flag in the comments below to show me where you guys are watching me from. It's so interesting to see the amazing countries and the love and the interest for Ghana. So as I have been here for a couple of months now, if you follow me on Instagram, I did put in my stories an opportunity for you guys to ask me any questions, what you want to know about my journey so far. And yeah, so I'm going to be doing a Q&A today and answering as many of the questions as I can. There were quite a lot of responses, so I'm really sorry if I don't answer your question, but there's always opportunity to answer them in another video, because, you know, I'm here for a little while, so I'm sure there's going to be lots of other things to be talking about. So the first question is, how have you settled in? So I think we've settled in really well, because we did ship a lot of our things over, so that helps. As we came here in 2020 in November, we was able to kind of see what we needed for the house and like what we wanted to bring with us and what was already available in Ghana, so that really did help. We probably went a bit OTT with the shipping, to be honest, because there's not really anything that we want for, but at the same time I think it's always great to just like have more than what you need, because obviously settling into a new country, a new culture can be difficult, so just having those creature comforts also helps with adapting. So just like in terms of like things like we shipped over 2 barrels of food. We also shipped in all of our things from our property in London, so getting furniture and stuff like that, we didn't have to do that, but we did obviously get electrical appliances. If you've watched some of my vlogs, you've seen us shopping around in Ghana for things like the cooker, fridge, washing machine, those kind of things. But as a whole, we had like our sofas, we had our bed, we had like clothes, bedding, you know, like all those things, toiletries. So that's really helped as I'm, you know, getting used to where I can buy certain things from. Luckily, like since we've been going to the malls, we've noticed that there is quite a lot of products here, a lot of quality electronics here as well. So, you know, for future, if we, you know, decide to add more things to the house and stuff like that, we know kind of like what we can get from Ghana and what we might want to get from the UK. But settling in general, I feel like I've settled in quite well. To be honest, it's been a lovely experience. I guess obviously coming as well at Christmas time, it's a nice time because there's lots of things going on, so it gets you out and about sort of thing. It's not as busy as probably it would have been if there wasn't things like restrictions with the lockdown and stuff like that, because I feel like a lot of people cancelled their flights because of the changes in needing to have a vaccine to come into Ghana. But in general, it's just been such a nice vibe, and just I find just like people in Ghana are really friendly. And what I love, I think, the most is the fact that there's a sense of community. Like, as it's just really nice that when you need help, there is help available. Whereas in the UK, often you can feel isolated if you're not, like, if you don't have friends and family and stuff like that. And just in general, everyone's quite busy. So I feel like here, you know, even if you're paying for it, the fact is that there's a lot of help on hand, and yeah, like that helps a lot when you're trying to, you know, find your way in a new space. So right, so the next question is, how are you finding Ghana for real? Well, for real, I am loving Ghana. I'll be honest, I don't see myself wanting to live in London on a permanent basis. Doesn't mean I've closed my door to London. It just means that for me, I just prefer this kind of setting, whether it's in Ghana or somewhere else, I definitely have to live somewhere hot. That is 100%, like, I've affirmed that I am someone that needs to live in the sun. It just lightens my mood. I'm so much more happier. Like, I mean, look at the palm trees and everything. Like, yeah, it's just been such an amazing experience. I feel like within my soul, I needed this change. I needed this move. So yeah, definitely. I have been actually quite surprised by like how quick things move, because I did kind of have the kind of notion that, you know, people say to be patient here and things take a lot longer, and I know they can, and they do in different areas, but the things that we've had to do, like getting the internet and things like that, I've been so surprised how quickly things have kind of like moved. So that has been quite a positive thing, to be honest. I think the only thing I would say is like, you need to have a car here. I'm not going to be going on trotro, like that's just like for an experience, yeah, but like to be up and down, like even in London, like transport for me, I didn't use public transport often. Like if you're going into central London and stuff like that, sometimes you're going out to eat, you might just want to jump on the train or you get an Uber or stuff like that. But day to day I had a car, and I feel like with Ghana I definitely feel like we need a car, because Uber will just start eating out your money, and yeah, trotro is just long for me. Like if I'm doing shopping, like I just can't imagine being on a trotro with all my bags. So yeah, like basically we need a car. So that's definitely, you know, something that we've had to think about a bit more. But in general, I'm loving Ghana. Like I just love like the fact that I can go out to eat in so many different restaurants, and it's got that kind of outside vibe. The fact that even if I go out in the evening, I can still wear like summery clothes. Like it's just, yeah, and there's just so much beautiful things to experience here. And I just like the fact that, you know, the produce is fresh. I can get coconuts, I can get fruits, they're more organic. Your girl is losing weight even though I'm not even working out, just because of the change of diet and stuff like that, and just the way my skin is and the way my mindset and the way I feel. I'm just really like, I'm in a great space, and I'm just like, yeah, I wish I did this sooner, to be honest. I really do wish I did this sooner. So yeah, like so far for me, for real, I'm loving my Ghana experience. So the next question is, what has surprised you about Ghana that you didn't know before? I think for me, in terms of security, that has definitely been a bit of a surprise. You do often hear a lot of stories of people talking about like things being stolen from their house. Like, there's a lot of petty crime here, and a lot more than probably what I would have thought, to be honest. So yeah, like security in your home is definitely something that probably I didn't think about as much. We did ship in some ring alarms and stuff like that, but obviously through kind of like conversations and that kind of thing, I've definitely realized like security in your home, maybe having like a security guard, having dogs, making sure that you've got like your home is burglar proof. It's definitely probably more of a heightened thought process than I've imagined. So that's kind of been a surprise to me, because I guess I'd never had conversations with people about whether they've been burgled before and stuff like that, because I've never experienced that in London. So coming out here, you just hear so many people saying, yeah, you know, like robbers came into my house, they took my TV, they've stole this, and I feel like because of the level of poverty and the classes in Ghana, they're not like the UK, where like working class people can still live quite a reasonable life. Then there's middle class, there's upper class, that kind of thing. Whereas in here, I just feel like it's either you're rich or you're poor. There's not really a middle class here. So therefore, I feel like people do seek for opportunities to steal because they need to sell the stuff for money and stuff like that. So I just was so shocked that so many people I spoke to said their parents or them or someone around them's experienced like their phones, their laptops, things like that being stolen. So yeah, that for me was a bit more like, oh, okay, I've never had that conversation before. You know, when you're talking to people about preparing for your move here, that's not really something they talk about. People do say get a dog and, you know, make sure you've got, you know, high walls and you've got like electric fence and stuff like that. But I've never had like that deeper conversation one when they say, oh yeah, because, you know, there's often a lot of people that their stuff gets stolen. And so yeah, that for me, thinking about security for where you live, I guess I understand why people choose gated communities. Obviously that comes with a bit of a price tag and stuff like that, but I can understand why you would want that peace of mind and knowing that there's a 24/7 security. So definitely we're looking into stuff like that and things like that as we don't live currently in a gated community. Another thing that surprised me a lot about Ghana is how expensive Accra is. Accra is very expensive, a lot more expensive than probably you would think. Especially when you come here on holiday, you come with the mindset of, oh, that's 10 cedis, that's only this amount in pounds. When you live here, you can't think like that. You literally have to think 50 cedis to me is 50 pounds, because if I don't think like that, slowly or fast I should say, my bank account will be emptied. So now when I'm in an Uber or when I go to a restaurant, I'm not quick to just be like, yeah, take the change. No, give me back my 2 cedis, I need it, because tomorrow I might want to buy Haynes and that's my money for my Haynes. So yeah, definitely the costs in Accra. Yeah, like I can understand now why people say that living in Accra is very expensive. Even when you go to shops like Orca Deco and stuff like that, and you're converting like some of the stuff, you're just like, wow, like it's quite expensive. Especially when you're so used to like places like IKEA, coming from the West, you're just like, I could have got like this mirror in IKEA for like 20 quid, and then in Ghana it's like £50. So in those types of shops, obviously you can shop local, but sometimes it can be quite hard trying to find places where you can find someone that makes this and someone that makes that. Then you've got to do the whole bartering thing, whereas then sometimes you just want to go into the shop and see the price tag and then that's it. But obviously it comes with a cost. So yeah, I think just, you know, just in life in general, money talks. So anywhere you live, you need money. So yeah, that's probably surprised me a lot more. Some things can be cheap here, but some things like good internet is expensive. So like, for example, internet for us, unlimited, I say unlimited, but we're still testing to see what is unlimited in Ghana. That's £100 a month. Whereas in the UK, I think our bill for Sky broadband, like fibre optic, was like about £30 a month. So yeah, there's pros and cons to the cost of living. Some things are cheaper, some things are more expensive. We need good internet, so it's a cost that we're having to pay. So definitely has surprised me a bit. Right, so the next question is, are you homesick? Hell no, honey. I am not homesick at all. Especially knowing that right now in London it's winter and it's dark and it's cold. Like, what am I missing? Seriously, like I'm not missing anything. Plus I think it's not been that long yet since we've left, so I don't feel like I'm homesick yet. Obviously you love your family and your friends, but for me right now, I'm not missing anyone like that. Like, it's not that deep yet, like, you know. So yeah, not feeling homesick per se. I think the pandemic obviously played a big part in that, where you weren't seeing everyone as often, so kind of you get used to the prompt like meetups and stuff like that. So I guess now I'm living further away geographically, I wouldn't say that I'm missing anybody, because technology bridges those gaps. And I know obviously it's not the same as seeing people in person. However, I just feel like, you know what, it's only been 2 months. I think maybe ask me this a little bit later on into the journey, I might have a different response. But sometimes the odd time you do think, oh, you know, like there might be a little something that you would have done with a certain person and stuff like that. So you do think that sometimes, but I wouldn't say homesick, if that makes sense. How long will you be in Ghana for? So initially we've said that we're going to be in Ghana for a year to see how it goes. I only have a one-way ticket, so it's up for negotiation. Yeah, so really the year is just to see kind of like where we want to live long term. If we stay in Ghana, like what area do we want to renovate that property that we're in, or do we want to look for property somewhere else? Do we want to look for business ideas, investments, like all that stuff? So it's just like we're here to like scope the land basically. So yeah, that's kind of the initial starting process. It's going to be 1 year. So the next question is, what do your family think of the move? I think all like our family, I say me and my partner, they're very supportive. Obviously naturally people at first were like, oh, we're gonna miss you and stuff like that, but I feel like for most parts, most of our family are supportive. Nobody's come to me and said, oh, are you sure you want to move to Africa? I don't know, is it safe and stuff like that. I've not had that response. To be honest, even friends as well just had that kind of like, go for it, it's so inspiring, it's amazing that you guys want to move abroad and, you know, follow your dreams sort of thing. So it's been like a positive response, which is always great. But either way, if anyone had a problem with it, we're not the kind of people to be bothered by that, because at the end of the day, you have this one life to live and you just got to do what you feel is best for yourself. Because you can be like, you can stay around your loved ones but then you're unhappy. That doesn't make sense, and you don't see them every day, so it just doesn't, to me, doesn't make sense to allow other people's kind of like thoughts and feelings affect your journey. I feel like, yeah, you take in, you know, people's advice, but you have to ultimately be able to just go away and make your own decision and what works for you. So the next question is, why Ghana and any connections to Ghana? So if you followed my journey before, you will know I've always spoke about Mr. O, who's my partner, he is the link to Ghana, as in he is British Ghanaian, so his family, both parents were born in Ghana, so that's the link to Ghana. In general, I always say this as a running joke, but I feel like Ghana chose me because I actually had a lot of Ghanaian friends in uni. My church was predominantly Ghanaian, to the point where sometimes they would have to say speak international, because obviously for those of us that don't speak the various languages that they spoke there, we would be like, what are they saying when they're giving like testimony or something? So that used to just make me laugh. So yeah, when we met, I was just like, oh well, yeah, I'm a Ghanaian at heart, because just like it was written in the stars for me. So I feel like Ghana just chose me, to be honest. Funny enough, actually recently I spoke with Miss Drew, who is a known presenter in Ghana. We went out to a beautiful restaurant called Mama's Cuisine, and I spoke a little bit about my journey to Ghana. I'll link the video in the description box, so make sure you go and check that out as well, because it was such a nice experience. And I actually got to try Ivorian food, which was my first experience. So yeah, like just me and Drew just chopped it up a little bit. We ran a few jokes about why I moved to Ghana. So yeah, make sure you go and check that out. Am I still working? Yes, of course I'm working. We thank God for remote jobs, and also I guess because of the pandemic, a lot of companies were more open to remote working. So that's basically been what we've been doing. And with that, you know, it has its pros and its cons. But I feel like for our current situation, it has a lot of pros. I would just say with remote working, you just have to make sure, you know, you have good internet. So like the con is our internet costs £100 a month. So that's quite an expense, but when you're making money in pounds or dollars or, you know, those kind of currencies, and you're changing it to cedis, trust me, you'll be very happy to have a remote job. There's so many companies out there, and I guess you just have to use things like VPN and stuff like that. So that helps with, you know, keeping your connection secure. So you can use VPN for so many things, like working, or if you're streaming and you want to still get like UK Netflix and all those kind of things. So yeah, you can definitely use a VPN for things like that. I will be talking about remote work and different kind of career paths, as I am a qualified career coach. So when I was in London, I did my master's in career management and coaching, so I'm a qualified career coach, and I do practice that as a kind of like side business. I want to grow it a little bit more, especially now that I'm in Ghana and I want to do more remote working. So I have a second channel. Haven't really been working on it much, but I do want to definitely do some more videos about careers, remote work, that kind of thing, because I know there's a lot of people, when they think about moving abroad, they're just thinking, how am I going to make money? Because let's be real, money is like the main factor to why some decisions seem difficult to make, because you're just thinking about like, how am I going to look after myself, pay my bills, and do you know what I mean, all those kind of things. So I definitely want to do more on that. So drop me a comment as well if that's something that you'd be interested in, how to do remote work, like all those kind of things. Like if there are any questions that you have about careers abroad and what opportunities are available, what types of jobs that you can tap into, and then I'll look at creating some content for my career coach channel. So the next question is the difference between holiday mode and living mode. Well, I think I've kind of mentioned one of the things. The difference is the cost. When you're on holiday, you kind of just like, oh, 50 cedis, yeah, that's nothing, it's only whatever. Like when you're always like you're always doing the little calculations on your phone, yeah, and you're like, oh, it's only 20 odd pounds, it's only, like, it seems like light work. When you're living here, yeah, 50 cedis is a lot of money, 100 cedis is a lot of money, even 10 cedis, like, yo, it's a lot of money, depending on what it's for, obviously. So I'll definitely say that. And obviously coming here for the Christmas period, I feel like because I live here, the urge to turn up hard was not there, because obviously we've had to try and get the house ready, and it's just been all systems go since we landed, which was early November. It's just been like go. So definitely I would say, just like everyone saying, oh, it's going to be so lit and stuff like that, I'm just like, but I live here now, so it's not, I don't have to rush and try and cram everything into like a 2-3 week holiday. I live here, so I'm taking my time and, you know, just doing what needs to be done and making sure that priorities are in order. Like turning up is lovely, but turn up isn't a priority when you need to make sure where you live is secure, it's comfortable, you've got what you need and stuff like that. So I definitely say that's a big difference. I feel like as well, living here, we live luckily a little bit further from the, you know, the main areas, which are Cantonment, Airport, those kind of areas, East Legon. We're a little bit further away from there. So I feel like when you come on holiday, I feel like living central has its pros and it has its cons, and I would say the cons of living in the central areas is the traffic and stuff like that. So I feel like coming here on a holiday, because you're trying to do all the touristy things, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of build up, versus when you come here to live, and especially outside of those peak periods, you see Ghana in a different light. So you notice like sometimes the traffic maybe is not as bad in those areas as it is during like the Christmas to New Year's kind of period and stuff like that. So yeah, and I feel like, you know, like I said, the urge to just want to do all the touristy things, I don't feel like I have that the way I did last year. I felt like we went out a lot more because we was here on holiday, although we were here to like sort things out for the move, but obviously we was aware that we were only here for a short period of time, so we did do things like the Cookham Bridge and all those kind of things, going to Cape Coast, which I didn't vlog unfortunately, because at the time I wasn't really doing YouTube and stuff, but I definitely want to go back to those places again. So yeah, I would say that's different. Right, so another question is, what made you up and leave? So I would say the pandemic played a big part in wanting to change like the way I lived and the way we lived, because we just was getting to a stage where like life felt like it was just getting stagnant, and it's like we had bought our property in London, renovated. We chose to get a flat because we just said in case we ever wanted to like do a business or something, we just wanted to know that our bills were minimal instead of getting a house where the mortgage would have been a bit higher. And we did also kind of say that we wanted to look at other opportunities, and that didn't necessarily mean staying in the UK. So the pandemic hit, myself and Mr. O, we got COVID. Unfortunately, COVID hit us really badly. He ended up in hospital, and it was quite serious. And I feel like just like when he came back out from the hospital, we really just looked at life like, do you know what, life is really precious, even though we should always believe life is precious and tomorrow is really not promised. But I feel like when situations happen that make you, you know, realize that, wait, someone's life could go like that, it does make you think, do you know what, it's time to start living. Although you're living, but I didn't feel alive. Also, I got made redundant last year, June. My job was coming to an end, and all these factors were just coming together, and just like, look, I need to do something with myself. Like, no job is guaranteed. When they're ready, they just get rid of you. You're disposable at like a blink of an eye. And it was just like, do you know what, let's try something new. We've always wanted to live abroad. When I was a young child, my grandma took me back to the Caribbean. Her and my granddad on my mum's side, they're both from St. Vincent, which is an island near Barbados. I was fortunate enough when we were younger, I used to go with her. I went to school out there for some months, got to go to Trinidad as well. Like, we island hopped and stuff like that because she had a sister in Trinidad and stuff. So I think from early, I kind of saw that, oh wow, my grandparents came from here. They were part of the Windrush. So they came over from the Caribbean to England, specifically Bristol at the time, and worked in the UK looking for better opportunities for them and their children. And going back and forth and seeing my grandparents, how they kind of made a life for themselves from nothing, a suitcase, and worked in America, worked in the UK and stuff like that. I just like, wow, like subconsciously I feel like that had an impact on me. And then I also got to go to Gambia as a child in primary school. So I touched the motherland quite early, and I saw kind of like how different people lived, and it just gave me a different perspective on life. So I think it made me always adventurous. And then as soon as I got to like 18, 19 and I had my like, you know, little Saturday job sort of thing, I bought my first ticket to Ayia Napa. So I feel like travel was always something that was part of me, and I guess our situation with the pandemic and health and stuff like that just really was like, you know what, we need to make this move. We were talking about it, but it wasn't like are we definitely going to do it sort of thing. And then that just affirmed everything. So I think the pandemic for a lot of us gave us a lot of time to think, and it magnified a lot of things in our lives that we're not happy with. And for some of us, it made us say, do you know what, it's time to stop talking and just do and get on with it and start, you know, putting actions to our dreams, our desires. So definitely that started everything. Next question is, what did you put in place to be able to move? So as I've mentioned before, we have a property in London, so that's a foundation. It helps because we're able to rent that out, and it's paying for itself, so it's an asset, it's building for us. And also that means that if anything happens, we can still go back to London and have our place, because you just have to give your tenants notice. So that's always useful, just knowing that you've got your main base, because you know, as you get older as well, you just want your own space. So that was kind of like one of the reasons why we always wanted to have our own property, because it's a good foundation to have come what may, and having something that's affordable as well. Whether your circumstances change, you just know that, okay, cool, you can manage your bills and stuff like that. Obviously, in the long run as well, once the mortgage is paid for, you know, that's also like an income as well. So that's kind of something to consider. If you're not working, or what kind of income streams can you have? And I believe in trying to have multiple ones, because as we know, a job can let you go, and then it's like, are you now living paycheck to paycheck? So it's something to think about. Also, coming to a foreign country, you need to think about where you're going to live as well. We are blessed enough to have a family home here, which was empty due to the pandemic, so we were able to move into this. And they say in Ghana, if you've got somewhere to live, that's 70% of your problems solved, having a roof over your head. And obviously renting in a different country, everything has its different rules, the cost of things. And as I mentioned earlier, when you want to live in places like a gated community, the price tag is quite expensive. And in Ghana, the places like Cantonment Airport, East Legon, they are very expensive. They are in US dollars, and it's not cheap. Like, it's really not cheap to live in those areas. So the fact that we're fortunate that we're like about 20-30 minutes away from getting into areas like Cantonment, East Legon, is quite good as well. And the side that we live on, the traffic's not as heavy, so that's amazing. And the fact that we have somewhere means, you know, we just have to pay for the cost of living versus having to pay for rent, then electric bills, all these things. So that's helped free up finances a bit more, and also taken off the pressure to have a specific type of salary. We're able to live a bit more like stripped back and live a bit more minimal, but then also be able to use our time to invest into things that we're quite passionate about, and looking at business opportunities, me creating content and stuff like that. So that was one of the reasons why we were able to just do the move straight away versus having to come here, do a couple of months, go back, because we had a base, we had a house. So that's something that, you know, has been like a great weight off of our shoulders, because renting in Ghana, some places can ask you for 1 year to 2 years up front. There are places that will, you know, allow you to do a couple of months as well, but like it's still a cost, you know. So yeah, that's really helped. Also, again, making sure you've got some type of, whether it's savings or remote work, that has been something that we've done as well, because we did plan the move. We were able to put things in place in terms of finances, so making sure that we looked at remote work, we made sure that you save some money and stuff like that. So those are the kind of things that we've put in place to make the move, the transition smoother. Shipping in our stuff, obviously, like, also it was a cost up front, yes, but then, you know, when you think about having to buy all your furniture and stuff like that, and the quality of the furniture and all these kind of things, it can still have a cost as well. So that was a way of also, you know, helping make the transition easier for us by being able to just ship in our stuff. And because they were still quite new, because we had only recently like renovated our property, we were like, yeah, that would probably save us money in the long run. Right, so the next question is, has your social media, any other digital content, changed any friends or family members' perception of Ghana or even Africa? I definitely would say, not even just friends and family, even subscribers. I've seen comments on some of my videos, just like, you know, people are quite amazed on what is available in Ghana, and I haven't even really been out and about the way, you know, I could be, because of, you know, trying to get the house ready. And even just like through the things that I have been showing, people are like, oh wow, like you can live a good life in Africa and stuff like that, in Ghana specifically. And I'm just like, yeah, you definitely can. And to be honest as well, I guess for West Indians sometimes, not all, I know there's a naivety around Africa, and especially growing up, you know, in school, to be African wasn't deemed as cool. So, and I know for me, coming from Bristol as well, at the time when I'm in school, I didn't have many African friends. I think I had one friend that was from South Africa, and then I remember there was another student who was from Egypt, and even that was like, you know, that whole kind of like, oh, you're African sort of thing. So I feel like it's been useful to show that being West Indian, like St. Vincent, Jamaica heritage, it's been helpful to, I guess, show those around me that don't have links to Ghana or to Africa, you know, what one part of the continent, some elements of it looks like. I think that's helped educate some people, even if they don't say it per se. I know that, you know, just showing like the supermarkets and the restaurants and stuff like that, for some people it's a very new experience, you know. I remember when we were getting ready to move here, and I said to someone, you know, I'm moving to Ghana. They were like, oh, what? Like, they were kind of like, what's in Ghana? Like, what was it like there? And it was like, oh wow, like, you know, I guess for me it's like, what do you mean, what's it like there? But it's the reality, like, people don't know. Just because I look at things about Ghana and I watch YouTubers that are in the Ghana space, not everyone around you does. So I feel like, yeah, it has been helpful. It's definitely probably shown people that, you know, more people that, yeah, these places can be holiday destinations. They're safe to live in, safe to bring up a family and stuff like that, and there are amazing opportunities. So I'm actually excited, I guess, to show more content about Ghana and my experience from my lens. So yeah, and I feel like just even when I came here last year and I went back and told like those around me about Ghana, I actually remember my goddaughter, hi Kai, when I told her I was going to Ghana before, I told her like, I'm gonna send you a video because there's some beautiful places in Ghana. And I remember when I went to, actually I think it was Kapensky, I sent her a video of the pool area and I said, trust me, there's lovely places in Ghana, and I WhatsApped it to her and she was actually quite surprised. So yeah, it's really nice actually to the impact that it has, not just on your friends, like the older, like the people that your same age or your aunts, uncles, whatever, but even the younger generation around you, the kids, to show them that, you know, Africa's part of our roots. And it's just nice to see, like, you know, as black people, we come from royalty, we come from kings and queens. The narrative isn't just slavery, because I feel like sometimes it's a big part of our history, but it's not the only part. And even for me, it's about remembering that no matter where, even if you're from the Caribbean and you relate to that culture, but the foundations of us as a people, where we come from, is so enriching. And just sometimes it's just nice to not feel like a minority, and to feel like you can make it. And I feel like coming to Ghana for me has given me that oomph, that like I can make it, I can be someone, I can be successful in life. And sometimes I feel like in the UK for me, I felt like, yeah, I didn't have that space. I felt like the entry to barriers to a lot of things that I wanted to do felt like they were so high. And now I feel like, yes, there's different challenges here, but I feel like there's an opportunity to be someone and to tap into the things that I'm good at, the things that I'm passionate about. So I'm really excited to just see like what I can do here, what I can create and stuff like that. So yeah. So the next question is, would you recommend Ghana to others who are not sure to move? I would say Ghana is a lovely place to live in. I think just with anything, like, you need to do your research. I would definitely advise to visit. I did visit before we moved here because, as I've mentioned, I'm not linked to Ghana in terms of my family don't live here. I'm not from Ghana per se. My immediate family, my partner's family are. So it was definitely important for me to come here and to see how I felt about living here, and do I see myself living here. I guess until you're in something, you never fully know how it's gonna play out. However, I feel like within yourself, if you know yourself and you just get a vibe, you know, you get a feeling. And I definitely feel like when I came to Ghana, it just felt like it hugged me. And the lovely birds in Ghana that live around us, they make so much noise. The joys of recording outside. But yeah, as I was saying, I do feel like Ghana like hugged me, welcomed me. I just felt like I'm home. Like a lot of people say it's a real feeling. You feel this sense of I'm home. It's so mad because it's like, especially I haven't done my ancestry, so I don't know where I'm linked to. But for me, I just felt like I'm home. So yeah, definitely say do research, come out here. Don't just come in December, come at a different time, because I feel like December can be quite a deceptive time to be in Ghana, because everything's lit, it's amazing, the diaspora here, everyone's out partying, but that's not your everyday. So definitely come during the quieter periods. Look at things like what schools, if you've got children, what's your cost of living. I think definitely doing some kind of like number crunching. You need to be realistic. Like, even though you might be moving to Ghana, you still may have commitments and bills in the country that you're coming from. You need to be realistic. How much do I need to survive, plus the living cost of being in Ghana? Where do you want to live in Ghana? Like, all those kind of things you definitely need to think about. So yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're thinking about it, book your ticket, come and explore, and then take it from there. And there's also so many different places in the continent as well. You see so much YouTubers out there now showing their experiences of different parts of Africa. So I feel like it's not just Ghana. There are so many different places to consider. I guess you just have to weigh up the pros and cons, but YouTube is a great space. YouTube helped me and Mr. O. Like, YouTube, it's like the new educational spot, like just like hearing people's experiences of building or moving here, shipping their stuff, like all the information that was out there just really also helped us, especially with getting things like aircon and generator and all those kind of things. Like YouTube helped us so much. So that's why even for me, sharing my journey is really important, because it may be helpful to someone else. Right guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, if I didn't answer your question today, don't worry, I will try and do another Q&A. And if you have any new questions, drop them in the comments below. As well, drop your flag so I know where you're watching from. That's it from me and Ghana. It's getting a bit cloudy now. I can see like rain clouds coming in the background, so it's my time to end the video. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video.